Join me today as I share with you the essence of my trading journey for two significant reasons. First and foremost, I wholeheartedly believe in the principles I'm about to discuss. These principles serve as a crucial foundation for my success as a full-time trader, continuously reinforcing my ability to overcome obstacles. Secondly, by sharing this valuable information, I aim to empower you to apply these rules to your own trading endeavors. In this video, I delve into the relentless drive and unwavering dreams required to become a full-time trader. It's important to recognize the arduous path ahead and acknowledge the sheer difficulty of reaching this milestone. However, as we zoom out and take a comprehensive look at our daily experiences, we'll discover specific areas within the market that demand our involvement. I reveal these areas and guide you on how to identify and seize high-probability trade setups. These opportunities are the key to our success, and it cannot be emphasized enough. One recurring theme I stress in every video is that the weakest link in the chain of profitable trading lies within ourselves. It is our lack of discipline and patience that can undermine our potential for success. By adhering to these crucial rules and consistently practicing them, we pave the way for our own prosperity. Together, as part of the day trading radio community, we foster an environment where each trader supports one another's growth and development. Our collective effort as a team amplifies the progress of each individual trader. I invite you to continue on this journey with me as we work towards our ultimate goal. Let's collaborate and empower one another to become better traders, both as a united team and as individuals. Together, we can achieve remarkable success in the world of trading. Try the 10-day free membership and use all our tools and receive all the alerts and research. Seeing is believing.
Hey, what's up everybody? DayTraderRockStar here on a Friday, and kind of talk about the Rockbot here in detail. We're also going to talk about the markets in detail, get a lot of things going. It's right before Memorial Day. I'm kind of psyched going into this video because I know I have the HPS watch list to do for the members here. But I really feel like we are tuning in really good in the markets. The markets are giving us good ranges again, even though we are going sideways. When I say that, because when we focus on trading the markets, and again, I don't want to get too out there, but I want to kind of start with a concept here is making money in the markets. All right. Why do we get involved in the markets? Well, you want to make money. Now, you either have a side job, or you're doing a job and you're investing part-time, or you're trying to trade part-time whenever you can, you have days off and stuff, you're doing it, or maybe you're doing it full-time. But we do it, and if we had more time, we would do it more. I feel like if you're really passionate about it, that's an overall goal, is to trade full-time. That would be a great goal for anybody, and doing something they love. So, we cover that all day. I cover that all day. I'm pretty much a full-time trader, but I'm also broadcasting our trading and broadcasting the research and doing all kinds of things here at Day Trading Radio since 2007, and that's a long time. And the great team, RPM, that's been here with me for most of those years. We come down to really being able to call this market in such a good way that I think there's just so much better opportunity out there, and I think the weakness in not succeeding and doing this is either, and I always say this, and I try to say it every video, I almost say, it's lack of patience, the lack of discipline. And meaning that we have the setups here and we have the ways of finding them, but we don't either. Sometimes we don't take them, and that's a big deal. I mean, the Rockbot, is something I developed off of the divergence methodology, how I trade divergences. So I programmed that into the Ninja Trader platform, and so it would give me the my formula, what I'm using, and I'm also using some other indicators too here, or different time frames and stuff I place into this, and there's a different slope, and there's just a couple little tweaks and stuff. But basically, we're looking for our mathematical divergences, and as you can see, and this is on the 1 minute time frame. Normally, when we have a nice bounce, there's usually a divergence close by. It's the time around that we try to be so exact. But if I told you I could give you a tool that's so exact, But if you're too focused in on it and your stops are too tight and stuff, it becomes a more of a tightrope. But if you get the right areas, like the right areas to start to trade, that's what we have to really focus your energy on, is being able to see a good setup and taking that and then and believing in it. Half of these were at bottoms, big moves up, and we take it off, take profits on the way up, and this works great. The bot works great on this. There will be time, but it works great when you have a choppy market. If you have an aggressively strong market, aggressively strong in either direction, you will get run over on one side of the bot. But that's something easy to measure, and you should be able to measure that. So that shouldn't be an excuse. When people say, what's the record of the bot, or what's the percentage wins? Well, I could say on a choppy market, it could be over 80% profitability on the trades. And on a straight down market, you're going to get stopped out based on your parameters. We're going to build a whole society around the rock bot. That's what I'm doing here. That's why I'm kind of focusing on this. We have that sale, and I want to really get people on board on installing the rock bot, using it on their own machines, and working together to improve it as we go on. So there's an opportunity now for this weekend to get it. I'm also going to use this video to throw out there. A lot of people want to know if they could kind of rent it or lease it, and it's just a lot of work. That's why we don't offer it as a monthly project and stuff, because it's just too much of a manual thing. It can't be automated, the billing and stuff. So we give it to free. We give it actually for free to lifetime members. Don't really charge for it. It's just lifetime members. That's the dedication and stuff we look for. And and you're part of the society that has this rock bot, and you can run this. And I just updated the scripts yesterday. So there are new scripts up there. Now it's always going to say the latest version. I got rid of the other two folders with some other scripts in it, so it's really streamlined now, and it's at a good point right here where I want to take this to the next level. I want to build a whole thing. Now almost all my videos will go back and we'll talk about the big picture. If we here's the divergences that are happening right here today. Now we could take these and trade them. You could have ES, M, whatever you put in there, whatever you're trading. It could be the YM, it could be the NASDAQ futures, it could be anything. The signal is going to get you there. And what I tell you, that when you're trading, this is great, but this is almost perfect. Like, you would have to be pretty perfect to get in here and out here, in here and out here, in here and kind of out here. But that's pretty good to do that, and that's going to be hard unless you are automating it. So I always recommend, let it get you into a trade. Don't let this thing go by itself. Let it be your order entry, and activate it so it takes the trades, and you can do that. And let it take the trade, and then analyze the trade and understand, and also analyze the market. Each day you should be considering what type of market is, what the trend is. Remember your parameters. Your parameters here. First, how much you want to take off on the first target, how many ticks. In this case, I have it at 8. Is that 8, really? Or maybe I have it 6. I have it grayed off. Well, that might be 8. That's pretty good. Let me see. Let me double check. I'll just turn it off here a second. Yeah, I had it at 8 running on this 1 minute. That's normally I use 8 on the 5-minute time frame, but it's been capturing that thing, and that's a good example. That's exactly what I want to explain. You might have 2 points on there, and we just happen to be catching that 2-point move, so the bot is working perfect. But say we were in a very tight downtrend, or we're dropping pretty hard, or a real strong uptrend. These are all just perfect, it looks like. But again, here it is work. These are working. They're catching enough room. But if you didn't catch enough room and it started turning over, that one caught it too. It's taking profits pretty good here. But if you didn't get your profit potential, you didn't get your 8 ticks, maybe you got 6 ticks and started rolling over, you should be able to also kind of understand that's happening too, by watching your fast stochastics. especially if you get up to that 20 line. It's the same thing as a flag. Lots of times we're going to see those that move down, holds the 20, comes back down, bounces, moves back down, and we'll start to see these rotations just like this. So that's another way of taking your exit off of here. And lots of times I'll use that rotation to get out. Once you get overbought over that 80
Order
line,
submitted.
you tend to pull back
Order
a little.
filled. Order submitted.
Now, just speaking
Order
of it right now,
submitted.
we just have a
Order
live
submitted.
trade going on right now. It is 2:11 on a Friday, and we just had a divergence. And you can see how fast that kind of triggered that. It was right off the 200 period moving average. It's a pretty big candle. It's a pretty big candle. It's a tough candle. You want to see where that goes. But let's take a look here. We'll watch this as it plays out. I want to just actually take a look at the other charts, because when I'm running this on the Rockbot, this is actually the Rockbot that I'm showing you right now. If I would be looking at mine and saying, all right, what were we talking about? What are the characteristics, criteria? What's the criteria? Oh, that's a nice channel. What's the criteria for a good entry? Now, time is important. The pattern recognition, the 200 period moving average, the divergence, everything looks pretty good right now on this. But what I wanted to go back here, and I was going to talk about something before, is some of the key things for success is my 60-10. That 60-10 stochastic, look at it. Every time it gets oversold and we start moving back up, there is a decent move, and we want these extended moves. I don't want to get off after 6, 8 ticks, 12 ticks. If I could time this right and say, all right, here's a quad rotation, 8:30, that's the whole day. I mean, that's a big move. That's a huge move. Another rotation down, started to turn back up, another huge move. Look where we are right now. We're about to look like, we're just starting to turn back up, possible divergence, and there we go. So these are the ones you have to believe in, and we identify them early enough, definitely early enough. There they go. Oh, shoot. I'm trying to get all my charts up here. So I have the Rockbot here. The Rockbot is, let's see if he takes that order or not. Let's see what happens here. So I have it at 8. Normally on a 1 minute time frame. Normally on the 1 minute time frame, I would have it set for 6 ticks. So it would be out by now. It would be out by now. But like I said, if you were running this on your own machines and stuff, you could take it off. I would just take it off. I'd let it get you in, like it just did, and then just like close it out.
Order canceled.
And say,
Order
right,
canceled. Order canceled. Order submitted.
So that was
Order
Rockbot.
filled.
Rockbot's up $222 today on this script. That's just trading 5 MES. It's up $22. Now if I activate these again, after you cancel out, you're gonna have to reactivate your script. Apply, and then apply, and then apply. All right, so you can see everything. It is crushing the market. It really is. It's a perfect market for this environment. This is why, again, having this next to you, or at least getting you into the entries, and then identifying, especially listening to the show, when we know, we could kind of guide you, saying, all right, this is a quad rotation. We probably want to look for a little further move higher. But also watching, and always remember, there's so many things we got to be watching. Remember, I just was talking about the easy out. The divergence is the easy in. The easy out is here. That's when you protect yourself in 150% way. Right when it's touched that 80 line here, and you're still holding around that 20, you want to probably, and look at the overall trend here, is kind of down. The odds are that we probably are going to head back down. So you have a profit there. You can guarantee that profit by moving your stop up to break even at that point, or if you haven't gotten there already. So use that criteria to kind of move up to break even, or take your profit and say, I want to wait for the next setup. These are guaranteed. This little move here is great. These nice little moves are great. I'm not 100% sure we're going to break out here. I mean, the 5 minutes telling me yes. 5 minute, we have that 5 minute cross, that what we just called the quad rotation. Let's see if it shows up on our screen there too. And then we have the, but again, you don't have to make that choice. You don't have to think about it. You don't want to think about it. You see what just happened there? It took that and said, all right, it hit the 80 line. Most likely the trend has been down. We're underneath the 20, under the 50. Why am I going to, because maybe the 60 was oversold and maybe you want to give it a little shot. And you still can. That's your decision. If you're going to go with that 60 being oversold and you're going to play that, you could give this a little room to pull back. But if you didn't want to deal with that little pullback and make that, then just take it off into strength into the 80. Half the time you're going to be right. Half the time you're going to be perfect. All right? And then you can reevaluate. It looks like there's a bigger 5 minute divergence here. It hasn't triggered yet, but I could see the low here and the low here, the higher low. 216 a Friday. But that's the rock bot right now. This is what we have running here on the site. And again, the parameters, I just showed you the parameters before. 8 for the first, I think it was, I don't know what was for the second thing. You could just go back in the video or just ask me in the room. All right, I want to move that back over to the Rockbot channel. Now the Rockbot channel is running 24/7. All right, so it picks it up at 6 o'clock on a Sunday. Markets get picked up, at that point on the Rockbot. It'll start working. And again, overnight trades are going to be less secure, or you can not as much volume, not as the liquidity is not there. So there could be some issues there on the overnight trade. You don't want to push this thing to make things happen that shouldn't be happening. The trend here though is nice, and this is what we have to use these tools for. I haven't even looked at the let's take a look here on this one. This is the tradeometer, and again, this is really a short-term scalper, so you want to keep this thing about this just like this. Because if you look out, you see all these dots and stuff, and you're like, oh, I don't know what all this means. It looks like it's gone up each time. It's green. Did it go down here on the reds? You can't really tell until you zoom in, and because these are hyper scalpers. And what I mean by that, it's constantly looking at it's doing the multiple time frames here, but it's working off the 1 and 5 minute time frame. So this is a good scalper. So you had a buy signal right here. You had a buy signal in the NQ, nothing on the YM. You want to keep it about this range. That's from like 12:45 to 2 o'clock. So maybe about a little over an hour. What is that? Yeah, an hour. Just to get that look, so you could see the dips and the flows in the channel. You could actually, it's like a line bar, a line graph. All right, so let that run in the background. That was a good, and again, there's a lot of tools here. You would have got that alert right there, right on the bottom, and you were considering, looking at this. And I think we did take that trade. That's right, we did. And we like that 5 minute rotation, and it is a 5 minute divergence. Everything again pointing to an upside pop, and there it is. There we did get that upside pop in a big way. Wow, look at that. And the bot here is still taking this. I didn't just look at that. Just first profits target hit. Pretty nice little move. And it's funny how those moves happen right when we point them out. Now, again, let's take all this in consideration, and we look back at a chart like this, and we say, all right, what were the good times to trade? Well, here was definitely one, which we just did. Was there a setup here? Look at this. Lots of times we'll see a topping candle like that lead to a nice divergence. But let me see. No, I don't see the divergence there. So moved up a little higher. and there might have been some weakness starting to go as the stochastic started to fail now here as we rolled over. But that was a hard. I didn't see any divergence here that I would have taken, to be honest. This was a decent divergence at 11:15. You can see that's holding the 12 line. And again, let's talk about the, if you do get in one and you get a little pop and it's pulling back. I mean, what can we? How do we hold on to this for this majority of this chop? And we don't trust the market. Go up, it's come back. We just gotta. Sometimes I walk outside for an hour, and that's the best thing to do. If you could feel the trend. So, new goal is 5 to 10 trades a day based off of these patterns, and using that rockbot for an order entry. And the last thing I want to show you on this little portion of the video is I'm looking at. Let's take a look here at the. I hear the birds outside. My strategy analyzer. All right, so sometimes I could run this through. If I have a good set of numbers that seem to be working really good, I'll run it through the match and I'll do some back testing on it and stuff. But I noticed, I just wanted to show you, I was doing some back testing before, and there's a big difference between looking at the 1 minute and 5 minute. And even though we were looking at how well the 1 minute's working today, let me bring over the 5 minute here today. Now I have both of these on the screen. The 5 minutes not going to give you that many opportunities, but the opportunities that it gives you are usually the biggest opportunities. All right, this is an excellent, and I love looking back at this because, again, whenever you take out that bigger view, you could see you have some room. You have some room here before things start to rotate. So again, if you're thinking about this as a 5 minute time frame, your trade probably is going to last, over 10 minutes. If you're looking at maybe 5 to 7, if you get a divergence, you're looking at 5 to 7 candles, off of a good bottom to the highs. So, you want to give it some time to kind of play out. And these being 5 minute candles, that time is going to stretch out by 5. So you could have a trade up to 20, 30 minutes long, maybe even longer, So, of course, you're going to get those, and even in the tight range here, there was a trailing stop here, because normally in the tighter, if you have a sell-off or, a pretty strong trend, things won't give you that ranges that we normally like to trade in. I love the ranges. So when things are very aggressive, you have to learn to step away or lower your parameters, lower your profit potential on a downtrend, increase them on an uptrend. All right, that's the 5 minute. Now I brought the over here and I was running this. This just gives me an update. I'll run it on the parameters. I think it's 8. Let me actually. Let me see what these are. Hold on. This is the 5 minute. Yeah, so I'm running the same thing here. Let me do this. I'm running 8, 2, 16, 2, 6, 8, 8. So I'm running 8 with a trailing stop at 8, 6. Break even after 2 points. So first target's 2 points. That's a lot, in this choppy market. So, and that's performing really good. 5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute, 1, 8, 8, and 8, 5 contracts. And again, this is what we run on the Rockbot. And then it outlines the criteria when that criteria happened here. This is looking okay here. So it was 8:10 here. So let's go back to that. Yeah, so this was it. So I ran this. I don't know what is today's date. 26. I don't even run it. Let's run it from yesterday to today. I don't know if today's going to come in because it's not over yet. Let's run it. Now it's going to go back and say if it executed that. All right, so it says here 76% profitable. It made $245. How many? That was 30 trades, 23 successful, 5 losing trades, 1 break even. Now, I like to do sometimes just go tweak this to make sure everything is working good. Again, that was on the 5-minute. Today, let's actually just do yesterday. I saw there was, I'm just curious. So I do get days that are up pretty, yeah, here's an 80%. Yeah, yesterday was 80%. It made $240 yesterday. What were the trades? Total number of trades, 20. All right, this is on the 5-minute chart, and this is also taken in consideration overnight, which I wouldn't. So 3 losing trades. Let's take a look at the overnight, and we could switch that up. So how many was it? Taking 20 trades. We're going to go down here. I want to go to RTH. I think that changes the time. Let's run that again. See if there's a change in the total number of trades. Oh, nothing. Maybe nothing came through. Nothing. All right, so there was nothing. Overnight, so that doesn't matter anyway. All right, so that's good. And then now if we run the 1 minute, same time frame, the 1 minute's going to be different, choppier and stuff. Let's move this. Actually, I want to just do something. Let's move that to a 4, or actually, let's move it to 6. See what if we got a better percentage, just by a couple trades. I don't know. It'll be interesting. No, nothing there. So everything stays the same. I want to just try 4. If you had a very tight, again, if you're going against the market, yeah, 21. It gave you 1 extra trade. You got out of 1 because you had a forced profit. Now, the one thing I will say, this comes down to that question: what's the record for this? Well, every day, depending on what type of day it is and how you set your parameters, it's always gonna pull out it's gonna show you divergences. It's gonna be putting you right on the divergences. It's how you have the internals, set up. Do you have this for maybe you have it to take a break even, a stop, and you don't have a trailing stop. You're just letting this thing run. Maybe you're going to catch all this and come back at the end of the day. You just want the entries. You could set all that up on the parameters. It really determines how on the parameters. You could take things off fast, maybe catch some earlier ones. But the majority of the times you're going to be in good positions, and how you decide how you're going to take profits, how you're going to do a trailing stop. These depend on the day's conditions. If you're in a downtrending market, a lot of negativity, you're not going to look for a lot of bounces on the buy side divergences. And maybe you're going to look at
tradeometer YM overbought.
Sell side divergence. Now we have the tradeometer. You heard it live here. There we go. Look at this. So we had a buy signal. Look at the recent sell signal on the ES. And now we just have a YM sell signal. The last sell signal was just about spot on. All right. Now, so much to show you. This is again all part of your membership, the Day Trading Radio. All the basic memberships come with the tradeometer and the Rockbot page, but the lifetime gives you the code that you could run and tweak and get the updates and stuff, and the quad rotations and everything else. But that's going to get you in the big moves, and love to be able to hold on to this right to the top. Again, you can't go wrong looking at, your stochastics, pretty much, to kind of give you that first exit. If it does get really strong and you feel that strength, then, the best you could do is just kind of jump in and see where it goes. A lot of times you'll get embedded. There'll be news. This is all news type of day today also. The market's actually still going on here, and we're near the highs of the session. So let me move this back over. Let me make sure it's on. I want to move this back over. So what I just did here, instead of what I was just talking about, what I just did, I put 24 in the takes as a second profit instead of just 10, and we let this run a little. Now I kept my trailing stop at 8, but I gave myself my second target. I gave it more room. I could actually put this whatever I want it to go, as long as it's being followed by a trailing stop, right? It's just I could put 36. What if the market exploded 36 points? I would capture all of it. 36 ticks. I'll just say. So let's go with that. Let's just see where that results are coming. It was 307 before, 347. Again, 75%, 17 trades, 13 winning trades, 3 losing trades. That's pretty good. 76%. So it's all about these numbers. Giving your trade a little bit more time, giving it a little bit wider stops, give it tighter stops. Again, long, short. Now, if we look back at the earlier setup, we pointed out this is going into the close last hour of the trade. And again, when we identify a divergence with a quad rotation kicker, all 4 of these are related, but this is a divergence, is your best setup here. That is your best setup. And again, proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the seeing, right? Seeing is believing here. There you had a kind of a quad. Here you definitely had the quad. Here you got very close, but once you started turning up, you can start to see that you still have some better upside. So again, that bigger picture at this point now, I wouldn't be chasing this to the upside, even though some people might be thinking that we're breaking away. It's just, I know the strategy that I am applying to the markets, and I don't want to test the other ones of all right, this is breaking out, maybe we're going to move higher, because eventually it's going to come back lower. If I look back here, we had a nice little run, it kind of grinded higher, and then eventually kind of scalloped down. We'll see where this one ends up going, but we're up here, so eventually we are going to come back down. And why chase this up here? So if anything, possible short. But this looks good and looks strong. I'm not saying that it is a short. I'm not seeing a short divergence or anything. I am seeing that great divergence back here pointed out. That was key. That was textbook. What was that? That was around 2 o'clock. All right, we're going to end this video coming up because the market here continues to scream higher. And I was just looking at the beauty of this, what we call just a nice parallel channel with a divergence on the 200 period moving average with a quad rotation. It had everything going for a pop, and I love when we see that. And back here, we actually had that beautiful divergence. And look at the size of these pops and these moves. These are all pretty decent moves. And I just measured this out. And this was a good 10 points just right here. So you had this, these are right now 10, that's going on 6, 26, so maybe 14, 15 points right now. And back here, the same thing. You had a nice little run, we'll call it 4,200 to 42.14, another 14.10 to 14 points. Nice little run. So the good 10, that's what I'm trying to point out, the 10-point moves here off of these levels. And again, I when I take these trades, because I'm doing it all, I usually just taking very low contracts on my micro contracts, just to get the trades in and to talk you through the trade to keep it a little bit more active. But if let's take a look at our position sizing calculator here. This is on our site if you need this. This is also on the dashboard up in the forums. The position sizing calculator, excuse me. You could add, you could move this around and add to it and do whatever you like to it. All right. Basically, what we're doing when I put this out, we were discussing how to increase your trading size. How do you increase your position size? So we come up with this understanding that most of our trades are going to have a risk assigned to them. You don't want to risk more than 2%, 3%, 4%, 5% of your account value. That's how we approach markets and risk. Some people just use the different styles. Some people use the candles and stuff. But typically throughout history, people have said that that 2% to 3% area was always a good standard default range for risk on for your trade. So we calculate a lot sometimes what that would be versus in points and stuff. So that's all taken care of in the calculator. So we just had 10 points. I want to move this again. You could do this yourself. Just have to fill in the value. I'm going to move this to the MES here, and the point value, the ES has 50, but for the MES it's only 5. So we're going to put 5 here. And I think that'll be it right there. There we go. All right, so now that we have it set to the MES, take your account size. This is how those would work. So we'll move this. Say you had $2,000 and you're trading the micros. Your margin here on the micros is going to be $50 instead of $500. And we'll leave it like that. MES $5 per point, tick size a quarter, and that's going to be that right there. All right, so now we could kind of understand. Now this your account size is this. You're going to try to stay within a 2% minimum, or fixed risk is 2%. All right. And then we're going to start here. What your position size is to start off that risk, and how you want to hold that risk, and where that stop is going to go based off of that risk. Now this is a percent of the account. So say you are holding one contract, and you see the percent of the it's only $50 at 2,000. The percent of the account is really low here until you get up to, and I have it off the screen here. Oh, I should have went that way. I don't think we can go any further. Yeah, I should. What are we at here? Risk 1%. Well, we'll just say it's down here a little bit further, but it could be like 6 points, 7 points. I straightened that out. This trend went back to 500. I'm sorry, I might have said 500 before. We want to get a margin as a discount broker, like a Ninja Trader broker or something. That's going to be $50 per contract. Now we have everything set up. And again, if you're holding each trade to a maximum 2% risk, you want to kind of put that line in the sand, and this would be, you can see that's 1% risk on one contract is 4 points. So 2% risk would be 8 points. So it would be 8 point stop on that if you just took one contract on the MES and you wanted to hold within, if you had a $2,000 account size, that would that's not bad, And again, you could work up here. I always said, even if you do this with a fictional account, start off with like $2,000, start off $5,000, double the account, doing it this way, and to be strict on how to increase your your position size, because as your account size goes up, your risk is going to go up, and how many contracts you're going to be able to hold is going to go up. Right now, if I was saying, all right, so say that we just did that and we said we want to go up a little, we have a great divergence, I want to put down 3 contracts. All right, 3 position size was going to be 3. All right. Each point is going to give you $15 in profit, but up to 3 points is where my stop is going to be. So 3 point pressure or downside movement on my positions, where I taken that position against me, would bring it down to about 2.2% of the account And again, that would represent a stop on this chart, in there where you might want to put your stops. Now with the divergence, I always use the stops as the lower candles, but that's just one way of using this calculator. And I said, like, try to use the calculator, do it on paper first. Take your divergences, do everything I'm telling you. Start off with just a 2% risk and build your account up until you could double it, and then do it live. Do the same thing, but do it live. So as you go up here to 4, you're going to get more and more, you're going to be able to take bigger positions because your size is getting bigger and the calculations are getting bigger, and your risk is getting a little better. So you could go up to 4 points with maybe a 1.5 stop and stuff. So now you could apply those into the Rockbot, apply the stops. Just take the divergence. Like I said, going back to it again, if you want this is on the website, or ask me for it, I could get it to you. But I think this is where we want to take that trade. I just love looking back at these lower stochastic bands here, and seeing that perfect area, and again, the one we called here, perfect area. Very organized market today. Now we're in the last hour, last couple hours, last half hour, coming into last half hour, and that's a no trade zone for me. Things get too whippy. Positions, long holiday. It's going to be exciting close. I wish everyone a happy Memorial Day, by the way. Let's take time to remember those who've given their lives for this country and who fought for this country. So it's a great holiday. So that's where we are right now. Again, important. So I got the new script updated. So again, one last time on this. I don't know if you gained anything from my this video or not. There's a couple other things. I was, a lot of people were interested in it. A lot of people would, want to test it out, and it's just something that it's too hard to protect. So we give it to lifetime members, protected, and it's just kind of a more of an issue to kind of figure out a way of letting people rent it for, doing a monthly subscription to the Rockbot and have it on their machine. It can be done, but it takes a little work. I wanted to kind of just find out in the room if anybody's interested in that. I was going to take a poll, or anybody out there, if you're interested in using the Rockbot on a month-by-month subscription. Let me know, and I'll work out something. It's not, I'm just testing the waters on that, because I do want to build the site out a little bit more on the Rockbot and add some. I'm actually going to add a couple more really good scripts here with the quad rotation and taking the entries on those, and the sell side quad rotation. So those are 2 coming up. But before that, we're dedicating the whole site to it, and we might, I might, look to kind of lease it out on a monthly basis. But I want to get some feedback on that. If you want to give me some feedback, ironaction@yahoo.com. ironaction@yahoo.com. So now if you click on the Rockbot here, and the site comes up here, and I got to update the site too. There's a couple, there's no longer the super signal. Super signal is just the 5-minute and the 1-minute working together, side by side. I forgot to check. I don't know if kind of ran through there. Had a good buy signal right on the lows, but it did go through the sell signal on the highs here. But that was a great buy signal. And again, if you're feeling the upside, that's the trade you want to take. I said I'm not going to short this market today; it's too strong. Same thing on the if it's going up and you get a sell signal, you might just say, we're going to hold off on these sell signals today. It's just too strong. Anyway, the super signal is no longer valid, which that's changed. And we have it up here, just where you download it. So go to Rockbot Code and go to Rockbot. And now you have it. It says Rockbot latest version. And that's it. You download it right to your computer, import it into your machine, and you're good to go. Lot of videos I've been doing recently on it, so just check back in the on the YouTube channel for Rockbot videos, and you'll find plenty of them. And I'll update these as I go along. But all right, so good things coming with that. And it's one of our major tools. We got to take advantage of these
Order
big
submitted.
moves.
Order filled. Order submitted.
There's a bot trade
Order
right there.
submitted. Order submitted.
It's live again. It's like watching a rhinoceros take down a giraffe in the jungle. No, they don't live in the jungle. They can't. The rhinoceros is not attacking a giraffe. Rockbot's attacking this market, though. Beautiful entry. All right. That's on the Rockbot channel, by the way. What happened here? I didn't get a quad rotation set up. All right. So what are we finishing up this video with? We showed you where the code is. Did mention the sale. That we have that sale is going on this weekend. You can
Order
actually
filled.
do that in 2 payments, but you have to use that right the right link, dtr.tv/2023. Market's about to close up. I want to get going on this, send this out. We're going to really concentrate on futures next week. Again, a lot of things coming with this. I mean, you can see the opportunities in this market. Very clean. It's up to you. There was 1, 2, 3 with mega moves. All 3 of these had like either a divergence or a quad rotation. I mean, it's illegal. They're going to ban my show soon.
Order filled.
Hey,
Order
if you
canceled.
see what I see here, head over to DayTraderRadio.com. We'll see you guys in the markets. Have a happy Memorial Day. And look forward to the HBS watch list, which will concentrate on the stock setups for next week. All right? Stock setups for next week. Have a good one.